Our next item is public comment, and I have two individuals. Anthony Nguyen, may come forward, please, to the podium.
Only two. I'm surprised. Okay. Anthony Nguyen, live at 19905 Tree Sap Way, and I want to talk about 9E, the Blackhawk possible purchase. I live in Greenridge. Oh, before that, thank you for the traffic light that you guys approved in Greenridge at the last session. Our neighborhood appreciates that. I saw at the last meeting there were 80 people that came to this meeting. I know it wasn't officially on the agenda, and they were mostly residents, and the public didn't really have a chance to really express their views. But the media reported on it, and it definitely is online now, and people are talking about it. So I just wanted to give my opinion on it, since you guys will be talking about it at executive session. They also went to the school board, and apparently the superintendent said that he's going to do something about it and talk to you and entertain the idea. But I'm definitely not for it. How many of you guys play golf? No, I golf. I actually lived on a course in Michigan in my house, and I love golf. And if I purchased a home and it was going to be developed into something else besides a golf course, I would be upset too. But I'm not for the city purchasing this golf course. It should be purchased by a private entity if it's a viable business. The county has it appraised at $1.5 million. It's alleged that the owner wants $3 to $5 million. And I have to ask myself, why are they only looking at the city? Why aren't they looking at anybody else? Have we looked at the financials of this? Do we know if it's making money? I'm sure you guys would do this and do the right thing. You know, if we can buy it at market value or below market value, then you know, you should take a look at it. But what do we know about running a golf course? It seems when the only buyer is a government entity, that should show red flags. And I understand the residents that live there, you know, don't want it to be converted, but you guys can do stuff in the planning process that prevents it from becoming development. You guys control the zoning. So, you know, we already have a subsidized water park, and I hate to see us make another bad decision. You know, I looked into the financials of the water park. I got a Freedom of Information Act. That lost $3 million the first year, $2 million the second year, including depreciation, so take $1 million off for that. And now part of our tax dollars is subsidizing the lease for that. Hopefully Typhoon can make it work, but I hate to see us buy another business and have to subsidize it. If it's a good business, it should be able to run by itself.
Thank you, Anthony. Your 3 minutes are up. Appreciate it. Next citizen wishing to speak is Daniel Dower.
Good evening, council members. My name is Dan Dower, and I've been a teacher here in Pflugerville ISD for the last 7 years. I'm here tonight speaking on behalf of 18 Pflugerville students who are members of the AVID Freshman Leadership Development Program. These students have spent the last 3 weeks of the summer on completely voluntary means developing their leadership and self-advocacy skills. And part of this program has involved the students researching, learning about, and discussing the issues that affect our community. This evening, I'm going to be sharing with you their opinions and concerns regarding the proposed curfew ordinance, which I know you guys are currently in discussions about. And what follows from here are their words. While we understand the problems within our community that you are trying to resolve with the curfew, we believe it isn't fair to the minors who haven't done anything wrong. The curfew can limit the fun privileges teens have, and more importantly, it can limit the help teens will be able to provide at home. Many of the teenagers this applies to have a responsibility to their families to help out when needed, and that may mean they have to leave for an emergency at late hours. The curfew could end up limiting the help at home, which is necessary to keep the household stable. Some teens are responsible for picking up younger siblings late at night when parents can't, or going to the store to pick up items needed for their families. Many times it can't wait until the next day. We also understand that the curfew ordinance is supposed to keep kids in school. We worry that facing unnecessary curfew charges might actually end up keeping them out of school. For example, if a teen receives a curfew charge and it gets put on their record, it can negatively affect their school attendance and chances of going to college. If teens receive enough of these charges, it can lead to jail time, and their career may be down the drain. Also, homes are not always as safe as they seem. We know that abuse happens, and if a child is trying to escape from that life in the night, they might receive a curfew citation. We also worry that even one citation can end a student's opportunities. Many people in Pflugerville live day to day, and a curfew charge can take away their next meal. Most teenagers are allowed to go out unattended because parents may be working or they are trying to help them understand the real world, but this curfew would be sheltering the children in our community. We also worry how the curfew will affect students who are homeschooled or go off campus for lunch. Students who just want some time off to rest won't be able to because they're being restricted about when they can go out. There are more important things that this town should be worried about. We understand why some of you may want this, but is it really the best option? We don't feel that this will help. Police interactions with teenagers can already have serious consequences, and a curfew ordinance could hurt the trust between police officers and teenagers. We recommend that the City Council look at other ideas before a curfew and start to include more teen voices on the decisions that will affect them. Thank you.
Thank you. And any public comment that is made on an item that is not on the published final agenda will only be heard by the City Council. No formal action, discussion, deliberation, or comment will be made by the City Council. Each person providing public comment will be limited to, and we've made a slight modification. Normally it's 3 minutes, but because of the number of people that are wishing to speak and the number of people that have presented their petitions or forms, we're going to limit this to 2 minutes. So if you can kind of practice getting your speech out in 2 minutes, that would be good. Second, so they can be on deck. If for some reason they're not in the house here, somebody can go find them so that we don't have a delay in getting from one speaker to the next. Okay, so if you would keep your comments to 2 minutes, please, we would appreciate it. When you come up, give your name and address, please, although I'm calling you. First person would be Fred. I'm sorry? Strolzoff. Okay. Well, that's not French, but that's close.
Russian.
And then the next person up will be Christy Smith, if she happens to be in the room. You may go ahead, sir.
All right. So, like most of you, I live on Pflugerville Golf Course, and it's upsetting to me to think that potentially there would be residential development there. I have to apologize if you had a flyer on your door stuck with masking tape. That was me. For the last few days, I've been running around tagging everyone's house so that you guys would be aware of this. Members of the committee, I want to just take a second and say, when you think of Pflugerville, what do you think of, right? What is your impression that comes to your mind? When you think of Round Rock, you think of the Outlet Mall, you think of Dell, you think of things that are positive. When you think of Pflugerville, you think of Pflugerville maybe as the lake, or the common saying is between a rock and a weird place, right? Well, I want to get rid of the between aspect. Right now we have an opportunity to differentiate Pflugerville by taking and not just supporting the golf course, but investing in it. Invest in it so that it could be something that Pflugerville is known for and could be a crowning star of Pflugerville. Right now, there's so many homes. Everywhere you look, it's suburban sprawl. This is a great way for Pflugerville to differentiate themselves. It's a great opportunity with a small investment to make it an amazing course. The previous owner, I don't know if anyone has ever golfed at Blackhawk before, but the funny thing about Blackhawk is you'd bet whether or not your golf cart would get to hole 12 before it ran out of juice, right? So it wasn't run, it wasn't maintained. The guy who owned it doesn't know golf industry at all, okay? And I think I would stress the members of the committee to consider the incremental value that would be added by a small investment in a course of this caliber. That's all.
Thank you. Okay, Christy Smith, and then on deck, Donna McKay.
Good evening, Mayor Gonzalez and council members. My name is Christy Smith. I'm a teacher in Pflugerville ISD, a wife, a mother of two, one who graduated from Hendrickson last year, and one which is still a current student at Sale Middle School. And I live on Villamora Street. I'm here tonight in support of supporting local business, keeping our money local. I'm in support of preserving Black Hawk Golf Course. Black Hawk Golf Course attracts families to this area of our community. According to the U.S. Census, Pflugerville is the 11th fastest growing city in the nation. In the northeast side of Pflugerville, where most of our current growth is, with new houses going in, opening of Weiss High School and Mott Elementary School next year, we're also already projected to build a new middle school and another elementary school in the future in that area of Pflugerville. Black Hawk Golf Course offers a lot to our community and could be much more. It offers an affordable community amenity to all levels of golfers and all ages. Golfing has health benefits and a lifelong skill for many. There are golf lessons, golf clinics for ladies, seniors, and beginners. Summer Junior Golf Academy for children. Our Pflugerville schools use Black Hawk Golf Course to train and learn. Students who have had the opportunity to train here have even received golf scholarships to universities or colleges in the past. Pflugerville schools have used Black Hawk for tournaments for FFA, band, and JROTC. Students need to volunteer to earn community service hours. Black Hawk Golf Course could partner with the school district to offer community service hours and or become a vocational instruction site for the school district. The Hawk Grill could be used to learn culinary skills, and the golf course and pro shop could be used. Thank you for your time and consideration in hearing our request to purchase and save Black Hawk Golf Course and considering getting us on the agenda next month. Thank you.
Thank you. Donna McKay, and then Kathy Tomasino and Rob Tomasino.
No timer for my address, right? 19105 Soto Grande Drive. And I am so proud of all of you for showing up. Good evening. My name is Donna McKay, and I am the chairwoman of the Action Committee to Save Black Hawk Golf Course. I'm here this evening requesting that the council members consider purchasing the golf course. Like the people that came before City Council in 2007, we're concerned about losing the golf course. They came before you, as we do today, asking the city to step in to ensure that the golf course will be protected. The language in the meeting minutes and ordinance from 2007 implies that the residents would not have to worry about the course changing into something else in the future. And here we are again. The current owner of the golf course has stated his intention to sell the property, possibly per 3-acre lots for building homes. Regardless of the amount of money the current owner dreams of getting for the property, it's our belief that if the city were to put pen to paper and make a reasonable offer to purchase the golf course, we would be able to preserve a piece of history as well as a treasured amenity in our community. Experienced golfers say that the course is one very challenging and well thought out course. It just needs a little investment, pride in ownership, and the right management. To that point, we have secured for the city the generous donation from a golf management company to assist the city with an initial evaluation of the course for a $1 fee. This is to pursue financial information of the property from the owner and prepare a 5-year pro forma financial statement. This will help you better evaluate the financial viability of the course. The members of this action committee have spent hundreds of volunteer hours researching the viability of the course as a smart purchase for the city, and we do not introduce this to you lightly. Our committee has provided you with an information packet. This evening we will provide you with more details regarding the positive effects saving the golf course will have. Purchasing this piece of property will be one of the few city investments that will show a return on your investment. We're also here to provide you with the other details regarding the negative effects. I appreciate your time this evening, and I look forward to seeing it on the agenda next meeting.
Thank you.
Hello, City Council members and Mayor Gonzalez. My name is Kathy Tomasino, and I live at 2516 Amen Corner. When we moved here several years ago from Chicago and began searching for a place to live, we specifically chose Pflugerville because of this affordable golf course. We looked at all the amenities that Pflugerville offered and had read some really good reviews on Yelp and Golf Now. We are not Pebble Beach golfers, and this, of course, is exactly what we were searching for. We were also excited to hear that when this golf course opened, Pete Rose, Willie Mays, and Joe DiMaggio actually came to play. What an exciting piece of history for this golf course. We have heard the Pflugerville City Council does not want to be in the golf operating business. Well, you're in the pool operating business, the rec center business, animal shelter business, ball field business. So why not consider the municipal golf course business? I believe that Parks and Recreation, who do an excellent job, could have an advisory committee to help run this course. Someone also told me that they were not going to spend their tax dollars on something like this. Well, I feel all our tax dollars are just as important as their tax dollars. One person's amenity may not or should not diminish another person's amenity. There are 68 cities in Texas that have residents over 50,000 plus, and all of them have municipal golf courses except one. It provides a social gathering place for families, individuals, and groups. We are asking that you give us the same consideration and effort as these other cities, and we understand it needs to be at a fair market value. Why give our money to Star Ranch and Forest Creek? Let's keep it here in Pflugerville.
And before you start, Mr. Tomasino, Michelle Sheehan is on deck, please.
Good evening, Mayor Gonzalez, Mayor Pro Tem Pena, and council members. My name is Rob Tomasino, and I live at 2516 Amen Corner Road. As Chief Operations Officer of a local financial institution, I am aware that in order for a golf course to not only survive but to thrive, it is imperative that we are provided the chance to take the steps necessary that will turn our course into a venue that we know it has been and can be once again. While we do not look to put the citizens of Pflugerville at financial risk, I am requesting that the council provide us the opportunity to discuss the options we have developed and have this topic placed on next month's agenda for further dialogue. Blackhawk Golf Club is too much of a working feature of our community to let it go. As part of the informational packet that we have mentioned, each of you have been provided. In it, you will find an article titled, How to Have a Heavenly Municipal Golf Course. In this article, there's 4 examples that are cited. And what we can do is to make this a reality. The first case study actually highlights the Cottonwood Creek golf course in Waco. Similar to our situation, Cottonwood was experiencing a diminished volume of play. And rather than see their course be turned into something other than a golf course, Waco stepped in, took over the operation, and formed the Citizens Advisory Board that reports monthly to the City Council on all aspects of the golf facility. This was over 15 years ago. Today, Cottonwood Creek Golf Club is one of the top 15 municipal golf courses in Texas. The success is evidence that since the takeover, the club has experienced an increase of round play month over month for over 180 consecutive months. Mayor Gonzalez and council members, I am asking that you consider this opportunity to invest in the people who are here to support the saving of Blackhawk Golf Club. I respectfully request that the council allow us the same opportunity that was afforded the Cottonwood Creek Club and to turn our hometown golf club into not only a sought-out location to play a round of golf, but with the right business plan, the moneymaker it can become. Thank you very much for your time and consideration.
Okay,
Michelle?
my 3 minutes, I'm going to get into 2 minutes, but it runs in my family. We're going to talk really fast.
Michelle, just a minute. Matt Reuter, you're on deck. Is he here? Okay.
Good evening, council members, Mayor Gonzalez, and city staff. I'm Michelle Sheehan. I reside at 2625 Amen Corner in the fairways of Blackhawk. For 27 years, I've held a real estate license, and now I've been a broker for 17 years. When a larger anchor amenity leaves an area, especially something as important as a golf course, it will typically impact the area, real estate values in a negative way. Not only the homes in the immediate area, but the residual effect will be felt on surrounding properties as well. According to the research I have done, appraisers I have spoken with, and information I have obtained, I lost my place. Hold on just a second. Okay. There it is. That a property could lose 18 to 30% decline in assessed value when a golf course closes. The largest investment most families make in a lifetime is the investment they make in their home. Any negative impact on this investment could significantly affect a family's college plans, retirement plans, or planning for financial security. In addition to the negative effect on family financial security, the taxing entity's tax dollars are reduced. Finding data on real estate values and the impact of the possible golf course closure is hard to find, but unfortunately, I've already found some. If you'll note in your packet, there are 2 sheets from the Austin MLS. Please note that these 2 handouts from the Austin Board of Realtors multiple listing system show that since the announcement that the possible closing of Blackhawk, there has been a rise in listings and a drop in sales. Also note that there is a bigger disparity between original list price and a lower selling price in the Blackhawk subdivision. Is that me? Well, keep the golf course. It's a great investment.
Thank you, Michelle. And Casey Holland, you're up next.
Mayor Gonzalez and City Council members, my name is Matt Ritter, and I currently reside at 2517 Amen Corner. My wife and I have lived in the Pflugerville area for almost 40 years. Over this time, I've seen Pflugerville grow from a population of 500 to 50,000. All of the farmland is turned into houses. The Blackhawk Golf Course is one of the few spaces that hasn't been replaced by houses, commercial property, or buildings. I'm here to ask you as elected representatives of the city of Pflugerville to consider purchasing the property consisting of the Blackhawk Golf Course and keep it a golf course. I believe that running the golf course as a municipal course is a good thing for the city. My biggest concern is if the golf course property was developed into housing, the loss of property value and taxes would lower the value of our homes and surrounding areas. Having a municipal golf course in Pflugerville is an asset to Pflugerville. City-owned golf courses can work. Studies have shown that when a city or recreational department establishes a board specifically to oversee the golf course operation, and all the money made by the golf course is put back into the operation of the golf course, maintenance and improvements, the golf course can succeed. Other than the initial cost, the golf course can operate without any tax-generated revenue. It makes what it spends, or it spends what it makes. The city can promote the golf course for charity and fundraiser golf tournaments, with a portion of the proceeds going back into the golf course fund. This will bring positive attention to the city. The past perception by the public thinks that municipal golf courses are of low quality. This isn't the case anymore. Many municipalities are providing affordable and accessible and better conditioned courses for the average golfer. Pebble Beach, Torrey Pines, Chambers Bay have all hosted the U.S. Open. All of these are municipal golf courses. I'm not saying that Blackhawk is or will ever be in that same class of golf courses. However, what I am saying is the Blackhawk Golf Course can be something that the city of Pflugerville and the residents are proud of. Swimming pools are nice, baseball fields are nice. Soccer fields are great, but playing golf is one of the few sports that the average person can do their entire life. Multi-generations spending quality time together. I believe that if the city purchased Blackhawk Golf Course, it would be a win-win for the city of Pflugerville and the residents. I'm asking you to put the Blackhawk Golf Course on next month's agenda. Thank you.
Dale McCann.
Before I get started, thank the mayor for wearing his green tie this evening. I'm Casey Holland, a professional in the IT industry, wife and mother of 3 children, attending the school district, and for the 3rd year, the PTO, or Parent-Teacher Organization President for a local elementary school. I stand here firmly in support of preserving the Blackhawk Golf Course and ask that you take the appropriate steps to become fully informed and consider purchasing the golf course and place this on the agenda next month. Renowned businessman and author Dave Ramsey shares a statistic that 7 out of 10 Americans live paycheck to paycheck. I would argue that folks living around the golf course aren't exempt from that figure. And this is very much a working man's golf course. And in fact, quite a few of my neighbors, like my next door neighbor and friend, Mr. Max, the former crossing guard from McMurkison and surrounding schools, who has been honored here at this council prior, are on fixed incomes. We're everyday folks that have an investment in our homes and, more importantly, a deep investment in our community. My neighbors will talk to you a lot about how the golf course is an affordable amenity in Pflugerville, and we deserve to keep it. Not to mention that every surrounding city has at least one golf course in their community, even Manor. I agree with this viewpoint. I'm also hopeful and optimistic that you see, as I do, that Black Hawk Golf Course isn't just an affordable amenity. Black Hawk is the anchor amenity that has been and continues to be the magnetic force of growth and economic development this side of Pflugerville. For a long time, as it is currently and continues to be currently advertised by home builders in our area, it's even on your website that this is an amenity that we can't lose. It's tremendously popular in this community, and it draws in the type of aesthetic that we're looking for. What happens when there's no more green space, no more golf course, no more centrifugal force for the surrounding neighborhoods? What happens when these aging homes lose their luster, houses are leased or foreclosed, and the gentle manicured neighborhoods fade into the blurred lines of the cookie-cutter housing sprawling ever eastward? It would have the residential effect of Target, the storefront, the anchor storefront, suddenly pulling out of Stonehill Town Center. That vacuum will create a devastating ripple effect into communities up and down the Kelly Lane corridor. We appreciate your time today and hope you will help us save the golf course.
Barbara Massey? Barbara Massey, okay. Macy, I'm sorry. May go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. City Councilman, Mayor, other elected officials, my name is Dale McKay. I reside at 19105 Soto Grande Drive here in Pflugerville, Texas. As you might have heard the chairperson for the Action Committee mention, this is not the first time that this particular subject matter has been brought before the City Council. If you'll allow me to, I'd like to take you back to May 8th of 2007. In these very chambers, the president of the HOA at that time, the president of the Black Hawk HOA, testified that a central part of the character and the ambiance of part of Pflugerville, that part of Pflugerville, Fairways of Black Hawk, is the Black Hawk Golf Course. And that losing it or having it rezoned, and that's what was before the City Council at that time, would have a significant impact on the quality and the quality of life and the perceptions of Pflugerville in total. These are 10-year-old words that I would say still apply. That ordinance to rezone the golf course was passed in 2 readings and became an ordinance on, I believe, June 26th. What I think everybody in this room is asking for is that you put it back on the agenda and let's have that open dialogue again. And hopefully this time we can put this to rest for once and for all. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Steve Dyer.
My name is Barbara Macy. I grew up in Pflugerville, and after college and working a few years in another city, I chose to move back to Pflugerville to raise my family. In 1997, we bought in the Meadows. After seeing much advertising, such as these flyers that I have from 2002, where it says, "Welcome to Black Hawk and Ryland Homes, Pflugerville's premier golf course community." It talks about houses off the golf course and on the golf course, and it lists all the prices and what you get if you're a golf course, if you build on a golf course. After all this persuasion, we decided in 2007 to buy a house on the golf course on the 7th hole. So I reside at 19220 Sea Island Drive. I'm going to focus on a few points why I think the city should buy the golf course. My first concern is flooding. When it rains a lot, it gets up to our back fence. If we put more homes in the green space, flooding is going to get worse in our neighborhood and downstream. We've all seen what Kelly Lane already looks like when it's heavy rains. My second point was my son was on the golf team at Hendrickson High School. The golf course is used by the high school golf teams. It's close, it's convenient, and it's a great opportunity for kids to be on a golf team. It's also the host to many high school golf tournaments. My third point is that the golf course is also a great resource to host fundraisers by clubs at Hendrickson High School. After looking at many golf courses in the area, we chose Black Hawk to host our first FFA fundraising golf tournament. We wanted to stay local, support our community, and we raised several $1,000s. Lastly, when golfers leave the golf course, they also support our economy. They may buy gas, grab a bite to eat, or shop at the local stores. In summary, please buy the golf course and make it an attraction that we can all be proud of.
Chris Macy.
Mayor and everyone, my name is Steve Dyer. I'm at 2504 Amen Corner. And I'd like to talk a little bit about the negative side of not keeping the golf course. If you guys choose not to keep the golf course, you'll notice a decrease in the quality of people. I dare say if you look at the quality of people that we have in this room today, not a single one of you are asking the chief to come out and bring extra police. This is important to us by the nature of Pflugerville to actually keep the people safe. Pflugerville Golf Course keeps the people safe by having good, wholesome families, not gang members, not extra police, things like that. It is a cost that is saving the city money ongoing by continuing to have a safe area. I'm going to point to that safety 100 times. I moved here from LA, California. 2 years ago, we actually looked at buying houses in Manor. We looked at buying houses right on Shadow Glen, up in Leander. We chose Pflugerville. We came here because of that golf course, because it's a draw. Without that, we would have chosen elsewise. Can you really afford to lose all these great people by not having that golf course? Thank you for your time.
Mr. Mayor, could she go in front of me? She has to leave early.
That's fine. I'm sorry, what is your name?
Gay Hullab.
Okay. And, and you're next, Chris.
Not Mr. Macy. I know Mr. Macy. Good evening. My name is Gay Hullab. I'm the golf coach at Hendrickson High School, and I wanted to let you know that we have a full roster, varsity girls, varsity boys, and junior varsity boys teams at Hendrickson High School. In the past year, we placed in the top 3, either individually or as a team, in 10 of the 22 tournaments that we competed in. Hendrickson was also represented at the regional tournament by both the girls and the boys, so we're real excited about that. Currently, we have several college coaches in contact with at least one of our golfers. Our home practice course, along with Pflugerville High School and the new Weiss High School, is obviously Blackhawk. Unlike other school sports, we don't have a practice facility on our campus. If Blackhawk is unavailable, we'll be forced to drive to another course that's further away in another town. At this time, Pflugerville ISD's high schools are pretty much the only schools in the Central Texas area that do not have a golf period built into the school day. So what that means is that we can't start practice until after school is over at 4:15. On a good day, we get to Blackhawk and get started about 4:30. When the time changes in the fall, it gets dark about 5:30. You can't get a lot of holes in an hour. So if we have to practice in another town, that's going to cut even more into our practice time. So I just would like to ask that the council consider all this information when you make a decision about the Blackhawk Golf Course. The future of golf in Pflugerville ISD schools is in your hands. Thank you very much.
Up next, Daryl Kraus.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, City Council members. Thank you for allowing us to speak. I'm in a unique situation. I live on the Sea Island Drive on the 7th hole, but we also have a house in the meadows of Blackhawk, 2106 Bethesda Court. Came here in 1997 and chose to live in the meadows because of the golf course community. Do support. I have a lot of friends in the meadows. I haven't heard anybody here yet, but they're also concerned about the ripple effect if the golf course becomes something other than because of the risk of property values declining. Even in the late 90s, the meadows was advertised as a golf course community. The golf course was the anchor in, as many people have said, of the growth out in the northeast quadrant here, and helped propel the growth in this quadrant and increase the number of homes, and that fueled Falcon Point's growth, which then helped the need for the lake. And the lake grew out of that. I'm not saying keep the golf course because we have the lake now, but the lake and the course have create increased tax revenue because of the homes around it. My son did play on one of Coach Hollub's Kelly Lane district championship teams and played on the high school golf team. I played in high school, not on the pro tour, but of course golf teaches a lot of things for kids: integrity, self-reliance, teamwork. Not every kid's going to play golf. I realize that. I have a daughter in FFA who doesn't play golf. As a child and adolescent psychiatrist professionally, I think something like the open space is important for mental wellness as well as the mental wellness of the community as a whole. So please put it on the agenda for next meeting so we can have a dialogue. Thank you.
Andrew Crane. Andrew Crane. Okay.
Good evening, Mayor Gonzalez and council members. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak tonight. My name is Darrell Krause, and I reside at 19408 Villa Mora. I'm a fifth-generation native Austinite and Texan who chose to move to Pflugerville in 2008 to get away from the craziness and congestion of Austin. The attitudes of Pflugerville residents, amenities within the city, and the assurance of city officials advocating for responsible growth all proved to be enticing to my wife and I as we made our decision. To date, we've been incredibly pleased. As those before me have mentioned, we've come aware that Black Hawk Golf Course is for sale, and the owner is considering parceling land off in 5 to 14-acre ranchette tracts that could be developed with very few restrictions. I come before you tonight to ask consideration regarding this golf course that it may continue to serve our community and many others beyond Pflugerville. While I realize the city's budget is always a concern, as a resident of this town and of Fairways of Black Hawk, my family and I ask you to consider purchasing this course to either be run as a city-owned municipal course or perhaps as a public-private venture. Kelly Lane continues to be developed, and seas of homes continue to pop up further and further in all directions. Green space is already becoming scarce, and it would be a shame to lose this tract of green available for public use in our area. And that's not to mention that Kelly Lane certainly doesn't need more traffic and congestion should part of this course ever be zoned commercial along Kelly Lane. We've been made aware of multiple studies that show significant 10 to 30% decreases in our home values, and I just don't think that's something Fairways is wanting to accept. The taxes paid, somewhere I lost my place. Considering the taxes paid by area communities, we feel the city's investments would in turn protect these home values and the county's tax income. If one looks at the other 68 similar cities and population to Pflugerville throughout the rest of the state, all but 1 or 2 have golf courses. Do we really want Pflugerville to be on that short list? Round Rock obviously felt their community needed such an amenity with their recent acquisition of Forest Creek. In fact, they felt it important enough to not only purchase it, but greatly invest in its future. A golf course is no different than a hike and bike trail, a park, a green belt, a swimming pool, sports fields, or a library. It's just a different amenity that appeals to our residents and those from nearby communities. Golf is a sport that literally can provide a lifetime of enjoyment and social opportunities. 30,000 rounds were played at Black Hawk in 2016. Others enjoy driving by it, and others simply enjoy the views over the course. The prospect of this course being developed with a hodgepodge of homes, double wides, barns, sheds, livestock simply doesn't seem logical at this point in our city's development. Please consider saving the course so tens of thousands continue to enjoy it. I thank you again for your time and consideration.
Lee Janisser.
Good evening. My name is Andrew Crane. I actually live in Falcon Point, and I don't know if anybody else is here from Falcon Point. I will second everything that's been said. I also say that it was really nice seeing Doug out at the Falcon Point neighborhood meeting, Councilman Weiss, excuse me, a couple weeks ago. And I did raise a number of concerns and things in that meeting with him and some of the other members who were here. So one of the things that I guess has been covered is the course evaluation. You guys have a pamphlet, and I haven't been privy to that. But there's a number of things that haven't been answered that are questions that I think should be considered. You know, whether or not it's going to be a city-owned course, a privately owned course, or a joint venture. Another thing is, you know, who's going to be managing it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so I think you guys should definitely take advantage of the course evaluation proposed by the Action Committee. And if that's not something that ends up going forward, I suggest that as a city council, you do form a committee to start the feasibility study to decide whether or not the city will either purchase the land, the operation, or both, because those are some things you need to consider. And then also the cost of maintaining the course as it stands, if you were to add any improvements, additional lines of revenue, and or locating a buyer or management company as a long-term city partner and steward of the land. Thank you.
And Tony Marshall.
Honorable Mayor, council members, thank you for giving me the opportunity to come before you tonight to speak regarding this matter. My name is Lee Janisek, and I too live in the fairways of Blackhawk. I do not live on the golf course. I am part of the action committee, and I was to speak last so that I could summarize everything. You're going to be fed a lot of information tonight. And my task was to summarize everything so that you could walk away here with a clear understanding of what it is our purpose is, what we're here for. So if there's people to follow me, spoiler alert. First of all, Blackhawk Golf Course is an important part of our community and our neighborhoods, in particular for nearly 30 years. It is a recognized and valuable amenity for the entire city that can be used year-round. And as you've seen tonight, you have many concerned people. Additionally, and I don't know that it's been brought up at this point in time, but there are multiple builders that are developing in this area right now that actually advertise Blackhawk Golf Course as an amenity. Even more importantly, the city of Pflugerville has done so in the past. So from those that you have heard from tonight, myself included, we believe that its loss would have a very negative impact for Pflugerville. As representatives of the neighborhood that are in and around Blackhawk, we understand that we may have a little bit more of a personal stake in the final outcome of this course, of where this course development is going. However, a development as planned and described by the current owner of Blackhawk would really have little to no positive impact on the city as well. In meeting with the owner, the planned development style with 15 large lot homes averaging about $400,000 in value would yield no additional tax value to the city relative to its current use. And that's not counting our and once the course is gone, the value of the nearly 500 homes in the fairways, and not counting our neighbors, would likely decrease. If they decrease by only 5%, all of the new revenue from the growth will be lost by our homes.
Sir, your time is up. Thank you.
Good evening. My name's Tony Marshall. I live at 2624 Amen Corner. I came here with no intention of standing up between you distinguished people, but once I got here, I felt compelled to do so. I've recently retired, a 41-plus year career in law enforcement. In my 27th year, I got promoted from the Dallas District of DPS and came to the headquarters here in Austin. As I began to look for a home, and my now current wife, we began to look for a place to live. Blackhawk was one of the first places I looked at. We went to Williamson County most of the time and looked there, but I kept coming back to Blackhawk on that golf course because my previous home, I lived on 3 acres, part of being a green belt, which I knew would never change. So I was looking for something similar to that again. My wife said, you need to go there during the day, during the morning, at night, on weekends. We did so. And it was a very lovely community, always calm, crime rate low. Being in law enforcement, that was extremely important to me. I ask you, because this is more on a personal level, I do agree with all my neighbors and friends out here what they're saying, but I love the view. I come home after work, I have 2 fairways between my home and the others, and it's nothing like it. You can sit on the back porch, and I hate to see that change. It's I think many of us hate to see that happen. I'd ask you to consider whatever options you can for us, that we have all would like to remain with that community as it is. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I didn't realize we had a different timer tone. Oh, did it? Okay. There you go. Y'all did a good job. I have a few more that did not wish to speak, and they probably came in from the folks that are out in the parking lot, I regretfully say. Zulu is in support. April Griffin in support. Christopher Falco. Oh, okay. Well, here we go. We have a opposition here. It says, oppose the city buying the golf course. Suggest the city rezone the area as P1, public, semi-public, or create a commercial recreational overlay district. Oh, that's the owner of the golf course? Oh, I don't know. That was opposition, yes. Chris Wood in support, and Gunnar Lynch in support. I'm sorry if I messed that pronunciation there, but he's in support. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, you have made your presentations this evening. Those speaking, thank you very much for coming forward and making your comments, your concerns known to the council. All the recording of the documents will be part of the record for this city council meeting. We have, and I'm going to go out on a limb here, and the city attorney can cut me off whenever. There's only so much we can say in terms of public comment, in terms of response from the city council, but there were a number of requests this evening for this item to be placed on the agenda, and I would probably think that's a possibility. So I do want to thank you very much for sitting through the heat and bearing with us while we listen to each and every one of you, and we appreciate the support, the documents that you've presented. We will get out and get back with the necessary folks that have additional resources.
Mayor, I would say one thing, though, about expectations. There's a lot of information that was presented this
Sure.
evening, and there's a lot of information for us to pull together. So it may not be the next council meeting, but it may be one shortly after that. So the timing may be
right.
Because staff has, I've been told staff needs time to put things together.
Exactly.
Sometimes.
So if you can bear with us on the time frame, we will
And I'm sorry, Mr. Hyde, to what extent are we allowed to comment on this?
The item was specifically listed as an item under the public comments section so that there could be comments made if necessary, but it was not identified under our practice for a full-blown discussion. So if you have some items that you would like to I believe that will be in compliance.
Councilman Weiss, if you want to make a comment.
Oh, so my comment, one of the things I continue to hear tonight, and that I saw in the multiple emails that I received on this topic as well, related a lot to the high schools and the ability of the kids to participate and have this amenity available for their education and the athletic program. I would ask, this is an incredible showing tonight. This room hasn't been this full in years.
About 12 years.
Yeah, years. I would ask that you attempt the same showing with the school board because it sounds like they should be in this. They're definitely in this with us together. So I'd appreciate if you'd take care of that as well. They have a meeting. Their meetings are Thursday nights. I think their next regular meeting is on the 22nd. So that would be if half of you were available. That would be more than they've had at a meeting in a good long time.
And they have a bigger facility and probably a lot cooler, too.
Larger budget.
Are you suggesting that we approach the school board as a purchase, or are you saying that we approach the school board?
I'm saying we're all in this together. I'm sorry. I think if we have comments, we have to be recognized and come up to the podium.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead. Sure. You have 2 minutes.
Yep. I got, it's going to be 30 seconds. So James Van Bibber, I live at 19608 Villamore Street. I'd also like for everybody to consider the impact of the infrastructure of Kelly Lane. I live on Villamore Street that comes onto Kelly Lane. I often sit there for 7 minutes trying to cross Kelly Lane to take my, I adopted 3 children, my wife and I adopted 3 children, and we have kids that go to Kelly Lane, Henderson next year, and then Murkison. So I think with some reconstruction of the golf course as well, which I know that's an investment, it also solves some logistical problems from a construction standpoint that everybody, it goes from 4 lanes to 2 lanes back to 4 lanes. So I know that doesn't impact everybody, but it does impact some people that are further east on Kelly Lane. I think, hopefully I don't speak for everybody here, this is not against the owner of the golf course. I think everybody should be able to invest in something. That's what makes America great, is that they buy something at a profit, and then they sell it for a profit. It's just giving us as citizens of the community the ability to buy it back or have a say in what we do with it. So that's what I need to say.
Thank you. Mr. Pena.
Not to mention Costco.
No, I'll save my comments until future agenda items because I believe this warrants a much bigger discussion than just the residents. I'd like to hear from the owner of the golf course as well.
Okay. Any other comments from council while we have the chance?
Mayor, can I add one question to my earlier comments?
Yeah,
My allotted 2 minutes?
Daryl, you got to
Back to the podium.
back up.
Once again, thank you for the extra time. Councilman Heath, you just made a comment that kind of caught me off guard here. Daryl Krause, I'm sorry, 19408 Villamora Street. While I understand that we've presented you with a tremendous amount of information, I think the urgency of this would really hopefully dictate that we are on the agenda next month. Putting this off for another month or 2 could very well result in these parcels starting to get sold off, at which point there is no
I understand the urgency, but I also understand the
Perfect.
responsibility of this council to all the citizens of the city, and I don't want to end up with a water park.
Perfect. Believe me, I understand. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All right. That concludes our public comment. I would like to thank everybody who is here present, and if you see Shvet Kapoor outside, tell him hello for me.
Could I ask for a brief recess?
Sure. We'll take a quick break. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That's what we're here for. I tell people, I'll put in as much time as I need to here. I'm doing the job I love to do.
Thank you.
That's good.
Yeah.
We need people.
Hey, we go to work and do what we got to do to pay the bills. So,
Thank you.
I know, and all you guys are out here because it's important. So, what makes it important?
So the board was made aware that there is an issue out in Blackhawk, and I know some of you are here to talk about that. The first person is Rob. If you'll come to the mic, and Sherry will buzz whenever it's 3 minutes, and go ahead with your comments, sir.
Thank you. All right, it's on. All right. Well, good evening, school board president, board members, and Superintendent Dr. Killian. My name is Rob Tomasino, and I'm a resident of 2516 Amen Corner Road in Pflugerville. Today I come to you as a resident of Pflugerville and not as the COO of A+ Federal Credit Union. Just want to make sure that's clear since I see several familiar faces here. I'm here to request that you consider a partnership with the city of Pflugerville in order to save the one and only golf course in our city, Blackhawk Golf Club. As a financial services professional, I'd like to share with the Board of Trustees some statistics that will show a negative impact to not only the city, but also to Pflugerville ISD if we lose Blackhawk. There are approximately 2,000 homes in the community of Blackhawk, which includes the fairways, the park, the meadows, lakeside, and the estates. Current home values range from $250,000 to $450,000. using an average annual real estate tax paid to the school district of $4,500 per home. Applying this average to the 2,000 homes equates to a result of $9 million per year. According to Golf Digest, when a golf course closes in the middle of a neighborhood, home values can decline between 12 to 30%. This means a loss in tax revenue of at least $1.1 billion to $2.7 billion per year. These figures do not include Falcon Point or Avalon, the two closest neighborhoods to the Blackhawk Golf Course. The grapevine is strong in Pflugerville, and realtors are already noticing that people are hesitant to pay a lot premium to live on the golf course or near it until this uncertainty is eliminated. Others here in attendance with me will be sharing with you multiple ways Blackhawk can be utilized by the Pflugerville ISD. We would love to work with you in the city and Saving Blackhawk Golf Club for all current and future residents of our great city. Thank you.
Next we have Christy Smith.
Good evening, Dr. Kelly, Ms. Mott, and the Pflugerville ISD School Board members. My name is Christy Smith, and I've taught in Pflugerville since 2000. I'm a voter, a very active member in the Association of Texas Professional Educators. I was just recently elected Region 13 Director. I'm a wife, a mother of two, one who just graduated from Hendrickson last year, and one who's a student at Seal Middle School. We lived in the fairways, not on the golf course, but in the fairways of Blackhawk since 2003. Blackhawk Golf Course is what brought us from Round Drop, just on the border near Gap School, over here to actually live in Pflugerville. I'm here tonight representing myself in support of supporting our local businesses and keeping our money and our tax dollars local. I'm in support of preserving Blackhawk Golf Course and seeking the school district's help to support the city and save Blackhawk Golf Course. Blackhawk Golf Course attracts families to this area of our community. According to the U.S. Census, Pflugerville is the 11th fastest growing city in the nation. The possibility of replacing the golf course with dense housing will put a strain on our already overcrowded schools in that area. The northeast side of Pflugerville is where most of our current growth is, with new homes going in by the hundreds, and the opening of Weiss High School and Mott Elementary School next year to offer some temporary relief. We're already projected to build another middle school and another elementary school in that area of Pflugerville in the near future. Blackhawk Golf Course offers a lot to our community. It could be much more. It offers affordable community amenity to all levels of golfers and all ages. Golfing has health benefits and lifelong skill for many. Listed on their website are golf lessons, golf clinics for ladies, seniors, and beginners, and a summer junior golf academy for children. Our Pflugerville schools currently use Blackhawk Golf Course to practice and learn. Some students who have had the opportunity to train at Blackhawk Golf Course have even received golf scholarships to colleges or universities. Pflugerville schools have used Blackhawk Golf Course for tournaments for Pflugerville Education Foundation, FFA, BAND, and JROTC in the past, and would like to see the Education Foundation, as well as others, back at Blackhawk, again, keeping our money local. Students need to volunteer to earn community service hours. Pflugerville ISD could partner with Blackhawk Golf Course to offer community service hours and/or become a vocational instructional site for our school district. The Hawk Grill could be used to learn culinary skills, and the golf course and pro shop could be used for learning skills in landscaping, business management, as well as lots of other areas. So I'm thanking you for your time and your consideration in hearing our request for Pflugerville ISD to partner with the city of Pflugerville and save our community's Blackhawk Golf Course. Thank you.
Next we have Donna McKay.
Good evening. My name is Donna McKay, and I am the chairwoman of the Action Committee to Save Blackhawk Golf Course. I'm here this evening requesting that the board members consider partnering with the city of Pflugerville to purchase the golf course. On June 13th, approximately 300 residents of Pflugerville attended the city council meeting and requested that city council purchase the golf course. They appear to be interested, yet lack some of the funding. They suggested that we come in front of your board this evening to ask you to consider partnering with the city for this venture. Respectfully, since we were not expected, we showed up this evening in lesser numbers. The current owner of the golf course has stated his intention to sell the property and allow it to become something other than a golf course. It's our belief that if the ISD, along with the city, were to make a written reasonable offer to purchase the golf course, we'd be able to preserve a piece of history as well as a treasured amenity for our community. Experienced golfers say the course is one of the more challenging, well-thought-out courses. It just needs a little investment, pride in ownership, and the right management. We believe that the student body can be involved in the operation of the course to some extent, perhaps partially through some vocational programs at school, such as culinary, automotive, metal and/or woodworking, agricultural, etc. This evening, we provide you with some details regarding the positive effect that saving the golf course will have. If you need any further information, I will be happy to provide my email address to you as well as telephone number. The students of our high schools have benefited greatly over the years by having the opportunity to golf in our city. Those benefits can be better explained by Gabe Holland, Hendrickson's golf coach. She has the statistics that surround the number of students who went to college on golf scholarships and students who without golf as an offered sport would not have another sport to participate in. Parents in our city are grateful that the high school has not eliminated the program. Unfortunately, our students in middle school were not so lucky. The students in our middle school in Pflugerville are behind in their skills versus surrounding cities who still offer golf to that age range. Perhaps the ISD can reconsider reinstituting the opportunity for those students as well. What may concern you most is the fact that the hundreds of homes directly on the golf course and those in nearby communities will be greatly affected in their property values. Studies have shown, as Rob has provided you with those statistics, that the depreciation value can go anywhere from 10 to 32%. Purchasing this piece of property will be one of the few ISD and city investments that will show a return on your investment. We already know that the purchase of the golf course would have a negligible effect on taxes for the city of Pflugerville. Inaction would have a far greater impact. As the chair of the Action Committee to Save Pflugerville Golf Course, the Pflugerville Black Hawk Golf Course, I wholeheartedly ask that the board members consider a joint venture in purchasing the Black Hawk Golf Course. We look forward to seeing our item on the City Council agenda at their next meeting and look forward to the support of Pflugerville ISD and support of student growth. Thank you.